Hey, everybody, welcome back to another Motivation Monday podcast for Monday, August 26, 2019. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope the end of your summer is going really well. And we hope that your week is ready to get started off on the right foot. So, we're going to start a series this week of, I don't know how many episodes. We'll see how many it turns out to be. But this is going to be steps to an effective practice routine. So basically, we're going to talk about all of the things to think about and concern yourself with when it comes to being as successful as you possibly can in the practice room. And I think that thinking about these things beforehand can really, really help you to not go into the practice room aimlessly and waste the precious time that you do have to get on the instrument in practice. I think if you take a little bit of time and sort of plan things out and go into it mentally on the right foot, and yeah, just like I said, just going in there without kind of wandering around and have like an A to Z process before you get in the practice room, it can really help you a lot to accomplish your goals and just get a heck of a lot more done in the time that you do have, because I know that time is at a premium for almost all of us. So we're going to start with something that happens before you even get into the practice room, and that is simply to plan when you're going to be in the practice room. I think this is really important because sometimes things catch up with us, right? As our week progresses, things catch up with us a little bit, and even the best laid plans can kind of go out the window a little bit. So we're going to try to protect our practice time by simply just taking a survey of the week before the week starts and kind of loosely or, not so loosely planning our practice time. So this is something that I'll do like every Sunday night. I'll sit down with the schedule, I'll look, and I'll say, okay, I have these slots available to me to be practicing. And I'm not going to get any more specific than that right off the bat. I'm simply just going to say, like, these are the slivers of time that I'm going to be able to get on my instrument and do some uninterrupted work. So I think that if you do this before the week starts, you stand a much better chance of following through on those actual times and, getting the work done that you'd like to get done. So I want you to try that. I want you to try planning out your practice routine for the week before the week starts, and then really do your best to protect those times. Now, of course, life happens. Our plans get interrupted by things that pop up from time to time. But as I said, I think you stand a much better chance of keeping these times if you actually physically put them on the calendar. Like, I will go into my Google Calendar and I will actually block off the times and commit them to practicing. And by doing this, I stand a much better chance of not interrupting those times. And if I have to fill in those times for some reason with something super important, I will. But I'm going to treat those as appointments. Like, if I made a doctor's appointment, I'm not going to just suddenly change it. That's going to be kind of an important thing on my calendar. It's going to be the same thing with my practicing. And what that does is it actually allows me to go to the next step, which we'll talk about next time, which is actually kind of planning out what material I'm going to practice and sort of getting my goals and an idea of what I'd like to work on for the week in order. First, I need to know how much time I'm going to have to practice, and I'm going to put those on the calendar. And then that allows me to sort of go on to step 2 and think about, all right, what do I want to accomplish this week? What am I trying to get better at? What did my teacher give me that I need to get done this week so that, I can show them that I've been working on the material? Things like that are going to come after this very, very crucial step 1. So if you're listening to this on a Monday, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and look at the rest of your schedule for this week and see what you can fit in there as like a definite practice block. Start there. Now, if you can't do it this week, if this week has already caught up with you, then do it next Sunday. Next Sunday evening before you go to bed, try to put some stuff on the calendar. And then do your best. Putting it on the calendar sometimes is not enough, right? We have to show a little bit of accountability for what we put on the calendar, or else it doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day. So put your practice times on the calendar, and then at least for the first week, do your best to fulfill every single one of those blocks that you've put on there. Now, they don't have to be super long blocks of time. You know what I mean? They can be 45 minutes, an hour, a half an hour if you're really busy, but do your best to just respect those times and respect your practice time and keep them protected at all costs. Like I said, sometimes you can't avoid it, but we do need to respect that practice time if we do want to get better. So try that. Try that as an experiment. And then over the next couple of episodes, we're just going to keep talking about more of these things that I think are going to lead you to much more success in the practice room and greater accountability and just kind of a roadmap through practicing, which is just such a tough thing for a lot of us to do. And we talk about this, topic so much on the Motivation Monday podcast, but really it can be the difference between you having success and getting better or not. So I do like to keep talking about these topics. All right? Let me know what you think. Is this something that you do already? Is this something that you'd like to start doing? Do you think this will benefit you? Do you think this will have no benefit for you? Let me know what you think. You can drop a note in the 10-Minute Jazz Lesson Community Facebook group, or you can email me at 10minutejazzlesson@gmail.com. All right, have a great week. Plan out that time, and we'll talk to you on Friday with a regular episode. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.